All right, Jake, welcome back. How are you?
Oh man, just how could I be any better this week? It's been lovely. So
it's been a difficult week for everyone.
Yeah. So yeah, we're doing good around here. We're trying to bring you the best damn gun content that we can while staying compliant.
And sane.
Yeah.
Which, you know, today we're here to talk about optics, but before we do that, we got a couple plugs, Jake.
Yeah. Big thanks to Peace of Mind for sponsoring the video today, but the whole damn channel.
Yep.
Their site will not be linked will not be linked below, but you can type in Peace of Mind. You can find them. Check out their site. They carry a lot of the gear that we cover on the channel. You guys know the kind of stuff that we cover on the channel, so you can go check them out. And they got all that kind of stuff. There's code. February 1911. Yep. February 1911, right?
Yep.
5% off those. And we're given some of the stuff they got in stock, you know, again.
They could be up north of 100, 200 bucks.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, you know, take a look, kids.
Yeah.
So we're talking about something that for most of you probably are unaware of.
Yeah, this is a brand new optic.
Because I was unaware of it 3 months ago.
Same.
Well, because it didn't really even hardly exist 3 months ago. So this is the Promethean LP-1. That is the model. It is being manufactured from a company called Lead and Steel. We'll kind of go into them, our relationship with them. I will go ahead and tell you, for those of you that wind up seeing this and you're like, hey, that's pretty cool, I might want to pick one up. We always try to get you guys codes when we can for like affiliate stuff, just because it helps save you guys some money. So it's just 1911, right? It'll be on the Lead and Steel site, and it's okay. So it's 5% off for the next 30 days, right? So whenever this comes out, hey, the clock's ticking, right? You got a month, right, where you get that deal. So anyway, you can check that out. So Lead and Steel, we do know them. We did a PSA AK review. I think it was on a 104, if I remember
right. That sounds right.
And anyway, they helped us source that gun. We wanted to do that video and didn't really have a lead on one, and they helped get us one.
Yeah.
And so I actually bought that gun from them. And anyway, they're just nice. We kind of stayed in touch over time. Mm-hmm. And they're cool dudes, and they hit us up about 3 months ago and said, hey, we've got an optic coming out. We'd love for you guys to do a video on it.
Yeah.
And his name's Ahmad, and I said, I'd like to think I said it nicely, but I was basically like, Ahmad, you know the kind of stuff we cover on the channel.
Not to be rude, because I do like Ahmad. He's a sweet dude.
Yeah. But
I'm like, hey, man.
But I'm like, don't send me some bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't want to do that to you. Because I like you, and I'm like, I will do that to you, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
So don't put me in that boat.
We will be honest.
Yeah.
So just let that, and I don't know what he told you. He told me, send it.
Yeah, he didn't look at me in the eyes and say it like that. Oh, you could hear it through the phone like that. Oh my God, that's
it's a little aggressive.
Terrifying, actually.
Yeah.
And so he was like, no, I assure you, like I believe at least you guys are going to get a product that you enjoy. And we said, okay, like you know, play at your own risk, kind of thing. Yeah. So anyway, here's who they are. They got a shop in Ohio, and a couple years ago they decided they wanted to start doing optics. So they started working on this 2 years ago. Okay, their R&D process was long. They did have a couple within like their family and kind of community. They had a couple engineers that actually worked for some pretty big companies, and they did the engineering side of it. But point being, hey, the R&D side of this was 2 years. It wasn't fly by the seat of our pants like 2 months later. Hey, we got an optic. Like no, they
good amount of time.
They put some time into it.
And money. That's a lot of money.
100%. And well, actually, I don't know. I was going to say, I think they funded it themselves. I guess I'm not positive on that.
I feel like I heard that also, but maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess I'm going to put it like this, which is the gun community is a real toxic place, sadly.
Yeah. And I hate using that word. You know, I reserve it. You know, and I only literally use it for what is toxic, and the gun community definitely can get that way sometimes.
Yes, because there's this tendency of, if I've never heard of it, it must be shit.
It must be shit,
Yeah.
Which I used to fall into that category. I'll raise my hand and say it too, because I'm an honest man.
I'll own it. I'll own the same.
I was that way with Holosun for a long time. Like, dude, what is that new?
Sure.
Like, get that out of here.
Yeah.
Big fan now.
Yeah. And it's like, I think the thing we've all got to keep in mind, it's like, hey, there was a day when people were like, the hell's an EOtech? Never heard of that.
Yeah, it must be garbage.
Yeah, like, why? Because they're new, it sucks?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I think we, as a community, need to embrace companies that say, hey, we're going to try. Like, we're going to try. We're going to throw our name in the hat. We're going to see if we can make something good.
Yeah.
If it's great, awesome. If it sucks, then it sucks. Like, you'll find out when you shoot it, right? And so with that said, let's start breaking this thing down. I'm gonna set this
okay, I'll have mine.
Okay, so all right, so
there for you guys.
Let's get into it. Actually, before we do that, if you guys ever look for ways to support the channel, you can either do it. Patreon's a great way to do it. Got tiers that start at like $3.80. They go up to $19.11, right?
Get it?
Do the math, everyone. And you get, we've got like our own Zippos that we make and patches. We do private classes that you guys can attend and
with
hang out. Yeah, like it's a social thing. Yep. We hang out at night and we shoot during the day and all kinds of behind the scenes content, all that kind of stuff. And then we do real estate is really what our business is, which truthfully is the best way you can keep us in, keep this channel in business to support us on the real estate side. So 1911syndicate.com, you guys can check that out. So anyway, tour this thing. So again, Promethean is a LP-1, interesting name for an optic. I'll start with that. I was like, I don't even quite know where you guys were going on that. I guess it's some sort of Greek mythology thing or some shit like that.
I just think of the movie Prometheus, but that's different.
Well, and that's where I thought too. Oh, okay. And then I was like, oh, Promethean, I guess is different. There's some sort of Greek god thing. I don't know. Ahmad told me, but I was too dumb to well,
let's be real, you were drunk, but that's okay.
Well, yeah, it was after 5 p.m. Dumb and so drunk. You know. So here's the concept. Meant to really be a bomb-proof optic, right? So these guys are meant for durability. Like these are meant to be tanks. Sort of a hybrid of EOtech and Aimpoint.
Sure.
Right? Kind of this balance of the
like
two.
An EOtech housing with an Aimpoint reticle, but
yeah, there's going to be some twists and turns there.
There's a curveball in there.
Yeah, there's a couple twists and turns in there. So it is LED versus holographic, AKA Aimpoint versus EOtech, but you've got that large window size of the EOtech, but you've got the battery life that's more like the Aimpoint. So we kind of start crossing this blended, territory here. Yep. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of go through some criteria just so you guys can get a sense of this, because this may be the first video on this. I'm not sure. If not, there's
one that just came out a couple days
ago.
Okay,
cool, great. So I asked Ahmad specifically on this, because we had a conversation about sourcing of materials and where things are made and everything like that. And I said, do you care, or can I share that with people? Because I think that people, as much as people like American-made stuff, I think people just like transparency sometimes.
Sure.
To be treated like an adult and say, hey, here's how we did it.
Sure.
Like, is that asking too much, right? So here's the deal, guys. The housing is machined in Hong Kong. The glass and electronics are from Tokyo. That's in Japan, for anyone that doesn't know that. And then the assembling happens in the US, okay? So a little bit of a hybrid. And some people are gonna throw out the China thing right away and just be like, like...
As they're on their Chinese phone and devices complaining.
Yeah, and you got your Nikes,
Yeah, it's called hypocrisy.
So relax, everyone. They are working on an all-American made version. It's gonna be a little bit more expensive. Out in a year, it'll be a little bit more lightweight, lose a couple of the features, meant to be a little bit more, not as tankish as this, but all-American made. So anyway, they're working on going that direction, but just so you know, hey, that's the transparency of where this thing comes from. Materials.
7075 T6 aluminum for the main body.
Yeah.
Now,
that's the good stuff.
There is, it's going to be hard to see, but this piece...
We'll show you in B-roll, we've got it.
Is a shroud.
Yes.
It's not made out of 7075, and also I'm off from the camera. No one's getting flagged it, right? We're just being safe here. That shroud itself is made out of 6061 T6.
Yes.
Now, why did they do that?
Okay, so the 7075, I looked into this when I did a different optic review. I was like, so what's the deal with the different tiers of aluminum? So the 6061 would be less robust than 7075. 7075 is going to be more tank-ish.
Do you know how I remember that?
No, I don't.
Numbers are greater.
Oh, well, there you go.
Must be
more.
Like I weigh more than you, therefore I'm better.
Well, you weigh more.
Therefore I'm better and stronger, which is the point we're trying to make right here.
You've seen me do lunges,
dog.
Oh, so anyway, so here's what's cool about the hood. I actually think that this is really pretty neat. So it's not actually part of the optic.
No, it screws on, right?
Yes. Yeah. And it's meant to be able to get deformed before the optic with the electronics, glass, all that kind of stuff take any impact. So basically it's meant to get abused before anything actually goes wrong on the optic.
It's like a sacrificial hood?
Yeah, the sacrificial lamb of the optic,
We're getting into religion here?
Isn't that a common pop culture
Yeah, I just
expression?
never thought I'd heard anything religious come out of your mouth.
I went to church once, so that must have been that day when they taught that story. Anyway, so yeah, it adds a little bit of weight, right? Because you are adding that hood,
Sure.
but you're increasing durability, right? So hey, it's all trade-offs, right? Increase weight, increase durability, like yeah, you know.
Which, you know, mine has been, I got some dings and dents in it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Let's talk window size. So I was actually, so when I first got it, you know, just kind of dry fire, you know, optic, you know, up, you know, ready up drill kind of thing. I go, man, that's a really big window.
yeah.
Really big window.
Yep.
And I was like, I like that window. Like, I really like that window.
First thing I noticed too, because one of my favorite optics is a Leupold LCO.
Yeah.
Big window.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is, I think you have the numbers in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's almost identical.
So I couldn't find a red dot that has a bigger window than that. Okay, so I'll just hit you with numbers. So the LP-1 is 1.37 by 1.04, okay? LCO, next biggest, 1.34 versus 1.37.
Okay.
And 0.91 versus 1.04, right?
On what?
That's the LP-1 versus the LCO.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yep, I'm tracking.
Here's the point. This is a bigger window than an LCO. It's a bigger window than an EOtech. It's a bigger window than a Hollow Sun, the boxy one. I can't remember the model. I think it's 512. I think it's 512. No. The Ames is the little subgun one.
Okay.
I think it's 512. So this has a bigger window than every other red dot that I can find. Now maybe there's some weird shit out there I'm not thinking of, but it's like, damn, okay. Like, you got me a big ass window on that thing.
And the window's clear as shit.
So I will tell you this, I can, because people like to talk about blue tint, right? Yada, yada, yada.
That's one of the complaints about an MRO is the blue tint.
Yes, so I would say, so this is better than an MRO, in my opinion. There is the slightest hint of a blue tint. Well, you definitely ain't gonna tell out here, it's dark as shit.
Dude, I have eyes like a hawk.
Yeah. Ever so slight of a blue tint, and it matters zero.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
I've heard a couple of people complain about that. And you know what I'm too busy doing when I'm shooting?
Shooting
Not looking
at the
color of
target.
the fucking glass.
It's so ridiculous. Yeah. It's so ridiculous. So it's just like, please come off that horse, everyone. The reticle. So more of a Hollow Sun style reticle, where basically you got 3 reticle options, right? I can just run a crisp red dot. I think it's 2 MOA. I can run the EOtech donut of death thing.
Just the open donut.
Yep.
Or the donut of death with a nipple in the middle.
Yeah, which is your EOtech reticle, right? And the open one is basically a shotgun reticle. That's what those are for.
I prefer just a dot. That, you know, I prefer red dots, but I do like that I have the option.
Yeah, I've run the EOtech style reticle on that just to kind of see, you know, what it's like and everything. Obviously, it's more crisp than an EOtech because it's LED versus holographic.
Sure.
So you don't need to look through it. It's just, you know, it's just clean and crisp because it's LED. But yeah, I've left mine on the actual just red dot itself the whole time, and it's crisp. It's actually a very, very crisp dot. No complaints in that department whatsoever. Next category, brightness and battery life. So there's 4 night vision settings. There's 6 daytime settings. Here's the only quirk, and this isn't a ding. It's just a note to make. So on ours, I would say in a perfect world, I'd like to have 1 more brightness setting.
Sure.
Like if you gave me 1 more, I'd be a happy camper.
Sure.
I don't find that I truly need it, but I'd like to have it.
I want the option, even though I don't need it.
Now, here's the thing. Ours were prototypes.
Yeah.
And so the production ones now have the brighter setting.
Sick.
Yeah. So like we're actually looking at something that like is not what someone would buy.
A little bit outdated. They're going to get a better model than
Yeah. What you would get is actually exactly what we're describing that we would want, right? Cool. So cool. You guys win on that one. It runs on a CR123A, standard lithium battery. Me and Ahmad had a good conversation about this. So 60,000 hour battery life on the CQB reticle. That is on setting 3 of 6. What does that get you? Not a lot. Not a lot. It's good in low light conditions or dim lighting conditions. It's adequate. It is not going to work in the daytime. Now, we talked about this because here's the other stat where you go, wow, that's incredible. 150,000 hours on just the dot on setting 3 of 6. And we talked about this, right? Because when you look at the Aimpoint numbers and all that kind of stuff, you know they're all rated for like on setting 3 of 8, you get 100,000 hours.
Correct.
These aren't real numbers, guys. So when you're like getting amped about the 100,000 hours, it's not real. because you would never use it on that setting.
On a daytime setting.
Yeah, like, no, if you crank it up and just left it on the setting you're gonna leave it on, you're probably gonna swap it out in 6 months.
Like a good example is this. If you have the optic as a home defense weapon and it just stays that way, and it's on like 3 because it's low light, you know, usually people break in at night.
Fair.
It's gonna last that long.
Oh yeah,
But common sense would tell you.
But if you're in the desert.
It's not across the board.
Last thing on the brightness battery, so it stays on unless you turn it off.
Yep.
And I actually like that.
Yep.
Because I'm like, hey, I will determine if I want my optic to go off. That's how I like it. I don't like auto shutoffs.
Sure.
That's just me. Next thing, adjustments. So they're half MOA clicks. And
Very tactile adjustments, which I give props on.
Yes, I can hear it and I can feel it.
With gloves on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really nice job on the adjustments. And they don't need any special tool or Torx key or anything like that. It's like any flathead anything. So you can take a round flathead screwdriver, anything like that. Again, you go, okay, check. Good job here. The mount, so it comes on a QD mount, lower 1/3 co-witness. I had a criticism.
Built into it, correct?
Yes. So we're running both of ours. We just like running stuff on Unity risers, so so that's just how we're running it. But I do like that it's coming lower 1/3 ready. I had a little criticism on the QD latch when I first got mine. It was a little tricky just adjusting it to my particular pick rail. And I did a FaceTime with them, and you know what they did? They changed it.
You should have been embarrassed.
No.
Because I understand your gripe, however, be a man, pull the little nipple out, rotate it.
Don't say that to me.
Just do it.
Don't say that to me.
Okay, just do it.
Okay?
But good on you. And yes, it's cool that they listened and
they're listening and they're making adjustments. And
Does
it's
that
also
make you feel special?
Well, it's a nice thing about smaller companies when they're first getting started is they can make those adjustments like very quickly, right? So the weight, so it is 11.8 ounces. It's heavy, okay? It is a heavy optic. That could be probably one of the criticisms, but...
What's an EOtech, though?
11.2. So we're talking the difference in 6 ounces. Or, I'm sorry, 0.6 of an ounce.
Yeah.
You know, like...
0.06 of an ounce.
Yeah, like half an ounce.
Yeah,
basically half an ounce. So, I mean, we're talking this weighs virtually the exact same thing as an EOtech, right? So we're kind of splitting hairs at that point when we're talking about like fraction points like that.
Did you get the weight of the Leupold?
No, I didn't, just because they don't make it anymore, so it kind of didn't even matter. So the price on them, MSRP is $449. Street price, if you will, is closer to $350. That's what they've got them on their site. So you do just order it straight from their site. I don't really think they're doing dealers yet, just because they're just, they're just getting it off the ground, like it is, I mean, it is a new product, right?
It's a fair price.
They're likely back ordered. If you guys go and look, they're likely back ordered. I think that they said around May-ish is when they should have stuff come in, right? So don't hold us to that. We're just delivering the info that we've got. But in terms of kind of like thoughts, aside from specs and stuff like that, look, if I came to you and I said, hey, we're going to do an optic. It's going to combine stuff from Aimpoint, EOtech. We're going to get Aimpoint battery. We're going to get clean, crisp dot. It's you're not gonna clean adjustments, right? No tools needed. You can just put a round in it and do it. Batteries that are easy to find. You can take one out of your light and throw the battery in if you needed to. We're gonna make it so it's waterproof, and you can deform the top of it before it even damages the glass and the electronics and everything. By the way, it comes with a mount, and you're like,
was that like $900 optic?
You go, what is there here to criticize?
Yeah. I mean, an EOtech has all that, but less battery life, and I don't like the reticle.
Yeah, and it's holographic versus LED, right? Which is you're.
And those are what, $700-800?
Yeah, EOtech News about $725.
Like XPS3 or whatever.
Yeah, about $725. Yeah, I just bought one.
I could buy 2 of those.
Yeah. So you look at this and you go, I'm struggling to find the thing to criticize.
As long as it keeps holding up to abuse, there's not much to criticize.
And that's the only thing. And that's kind of what's interesting is you go, well, you can't fault an optic for being new. And the fact that we don't have 2 years of experience on it, it's like, well, no. So I assume it's durable and solid until proven otherwise.
The one they've been throwing on their YouTube, like dropping and stuff, is beat up and still going.
Yeah. And they're very smart with the pricing because it's in the category of, I'll roll the dice and try it, because if it's good, I'm like, yo, I just got something good that was like $350. And if it sucks, you go, $350.
Throw it on a range toy that you only use at the range and call it a day.
Not the end of the world.
Sure.
Didn't spend my life savings on
Sure.
it. So like, look, I think they've done a really fantastic job here. And like, I think that, again, we as a community need to go, hey, provided the durability and everything holds up, I think you got one here.
I'll give it to him.
Like, I would spend my own money on this.
I would too.
Like, you know, like 100%, I'd buy one of those. And like, and again, I mean, shit, I mean, you've got the 6th one that was made. I've got the 7th one that was made.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, these are like the first ones that were made, you know?
Kind of cool.
So like, I mean, it is really cool. For me, it's in the recommend category.
Yep, I'd recommend it too.
Like, you know?
I'd be happy spending my own money on this. We can go on record, don't care. This will live on the internet forever.
Yeah.
I'd spend my own money on that.
Yeah, so good job, guys. Like, good job. It's a very impressive first outing for a new company getting into manufacturing. Good job. Yeah. So anyway, I guess we'll thank FLP and then we'll move on with our night here.
Yeah, FLP, Firearms Legal Protection. They are a sponsor of the entire channel, not just this episode. And what are they, Jake? They are a concealed carry insurance company. So, you unfortunately, and heaven forbid, get in a self-defense scenario where you have a legally justified reason to use your firearm.
Or anything.
Or any legal weapon.
Yep.
Okay? This is that's why I keep saying legal for a reason there. They're going to cover you.
Yeah.
They're going to take care of you.
Yeah.
To the point where, you know, if your tile's a little messed up from the excrement and blood, they're going to come clean that up for you.
Yeah, it's a dark job, but someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
You know, there's different plans if you travel a lot. There's one that's like you're covered in all 50 states. There's one if you're like, I'm a hermit, I never leave my state. Cool, do the basic one. Or if you're like, my family stays strapped, then like, cool, get the family plan.
Sure.
You know, keep the kids protected.
And our code, which is?
Yeah, just 1911 saves you a bunch of money on that. You can check it out. And good on you guys. A lot of you guys have been getting that service, and
we appreciate you guys getting that service too, because you know, as a sponsor, it just shows that we're doing our part. So thank you guys.
Yeah. So
continue to sign up.
Cool. So I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up and go fight off these coyotes that seem to want to eat us right now. So you guys take care at home. See you next time.
Later, guys.